Hi everybody, welcome to Two Gals Gemstones. Today we're going to be making a simple stretch bracelet using a two-strand method with a wire needle and a binder clip as a bead stopper. So it'll look like this when it's finished, and you'll need some elastic stretch string. I usually measure off to make a 7-inch bracelet, I usually measure off about a length of 16 inches or 8 inches doubled. You can actually get a little less than that because you've got to stretch your string out before you use it, and we'll talk about that a little later in the video. So we've got our elastic string, and we will be using white and red glass beads. You will need approximately, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You'll need approximately 24 to 27 beads, depending on how big your wrist is or how big the person's wrist is that you're making the bracelet for. My wrist happens to be around the average size, so about 7 inches works for me. So what you first want to do is take your elastic string, and I start at the end and I just hold the end. You want to stretch it out, because otherwise when you wear your bracelet, as it gets older, the string will stretch out on its own. But if you pre-stretch it, it stops it from doing that. So we just stretch. You don't want to pull it hard to break the string or have it snap back on you. You just want to kind of stretch it out so that you feel it give some, and you'll tell that it doesn't shrink back as small as it was. So when you are finished stretching your string out, it will be longer than when you started. So, but that helps to keep the bracelet from stretching out on its own once the weight is added to it. And I just work my way all the way down to the other end. Now once we've got our string stretched out, I just double it up to equal lengths, and I match the two loose ends together like so. And this is where our binder clip comes in handy. You can also use bead stoppers, or you can tie a knot at the end of the bracelet so that your beads don't roll off, but I just simply use a binder clip. You know, something that I found laying around my house because we've got office supplies and stuff at our desk. So you want to put it on the end like that, and then have your loop at the bottom. The next thing you'll need, what did I do with it, is a piece of wire. I try to use the smallest wire I can find, which is usually a 26 or 28 gauge piece of wire, very thin, and I fold it in half so that it has a loop at the end of it too. And what you're going to do, you're going to take the loop end of your elastic cord and feed it between the two open ends of your wire so that you've got this situation going on. And then the next thing you do is just start feeding your beads on. I am making one opposite of this one. This one has 2 reds and 1 white. I'm going to make one that has 2 whites and 1 red. So you just take your needle, the 2 open ends, and close them together and feed both of them through the holes of the bead and down onto the string. And then we'll take our 2 white beads and do the same thing. And it's very simple. I've even taught my 9-year-old granddaughter how to make these kind of bracelets, and she has her own little bead box company that she started. You can find her at our pop-up shows. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all these beads on here, and then once I get them all threaded, I will come back and show you all just how to finish off the bracelet and tie it in a knot. We're back. Say hello to Aaliyah. She's the one smiling in the background. So now that we've got all of our beads on the strand, it'll look something like this. You've got your bead stopper here with your 2 free ends. You've got your looped end here. So what we're going to do now is just simply slide the looped end out of the needle. Make sure you put your needle somewhere safe. It's real easy to lose those little wire things. And I just simply